And this is where, we believe strongly in a different process that breaks the sort of assembly of the car up, divides, just like when you go into a healthcare setting and a different person checks you in than the person who takes your vitals, than the doctor who sees you, than the person who follows up. It's all the same thing. They've already figured it out. Division of labor in an assembly line process is more efficient than having one person do everything. So we break it up here into the research phase. So, gathering, supporting documentation, historical actions on an account, that may come only from the EHR, that may also include the clearinghouse, it may include payer portals, all of the above. Getting all the information together and sort of summarized, and then giving it to the person to decide, who's going to be the actual person deciding, we're going to appeal this, we're going to correct this, we're going to transfer this, we're going to write this off, those types of things. And then finally, the actual response. So the execution of the corrected claim, the creation of the appeal and submission, those types of actions that happen. And there's different skill sets in here. So Francis, we've kind of broken these out. Talk about some of the different skill sets you see in these different areas.
Well, certainly, gathering the information, like where's the EOB? We need to find the EOB. And then what is wrong with the denial that's stated on here? I've seen people when they are posting a bunch of remits, they'll even take like post-it notes and tag certain pages that they have to go back to. That makes it, again, a double work where the same person is saying, I've got all these posted. Now I've got to go back and figure these out and look into it, maybe call the representatives, and then decide, do I refile it? Do I appeal it? So I've seen that kind of thing. I've seen where the people that call and ask, do get a status on a claim, have to then go and set aside all the results from those phone calls of the day, go and do the next action, make the notes. It's some people doing things that might, if they had to do 25 of those a day, it would take all day. But if somebody else could do a piece of it, they could get to 100 of the action required things. So yeah, I have seen, just the research and the action all being the same person, and they can't get through it. The month starts over. Here's where I've used this before, where this person was printed a report. You work on these 20 pages and I'll give you a fresh report. They get through page 3 and it's already time for that next report where they never made it through the rest of it, right? That's a very common one where I've seen the AR follow-up divided by just a report that's been given to them.
Yeah.
And they never get through it.
That is the painful reality. Well, and so we believe the advantages here is that you can optimize skills to responsibility. So for folks that are maybe more junior but are fast in the computer, they can do the research side. The folks who are deciding, they're the most experienced folks. They may be your most senior staff, and they can very quickly make a decision what needs to happen. And then someone who is sort of very accurate in doing the processes in the EHR, crafting the corrected claim, whatever it might be, can do the actual response. So you're kind of subdividing this up by both sort of talent and experience. And then it allows you to do flexible batching. So you might run through a batch. Let's say you might still group up front. Okay, today we're going to do all of our Medicaid. Tomorrow we're going to do all of our Advantage plans. The next day, all of our traditional Medicare and so on. You could still do that. You still get flexibility in how you batch these things together, but you're running them through a more factory assembly line process. The other advantage you have here is cross-training. So because you're going to have people who are working across payers, in this sometimes across specialties, they're going to get exposure to more scenarios and become smarter and more resilient. And then you can use this as a way to upskill folks so that you can move someone who's maybe junior into the research phase into the decider role, or swap folks out who are doing different types of responses. You can move folks around so they get more experience, but they're not pigeonholed into the same payer every single day, day in and day out. It allows for faster throughput, but also better cross training of talent. And then finally,
Yeah.
the measurable production output. So this, just to wrap up on this one. So if you've got this assembly line process, you should be able to coordinate it so that the person in the middle, the decider, is moving as fast as they possibly can and never waiting on research, and that the responses to those decisions happen in a timely fashion. And you can really continue to optimize your production throughput, without feeling like you're, cracking the whip on staff that had to do everything artisanally one at a time. Lots of anecdotal excuses come up in that regard. This process allows you to be far more scientific about how you manage it.